Well, this is all shaky. This is like all like choppy and not smooth. How are you guys seeing this? Oh, wait. I don't know if anybody's getting the notifications, so there's nobody here yet. Let's wait and see. Oh, there we go. There's one. Where is it morning right now? What country are you in, Jane? It's the most horrible phrase I've ever seen in my life. This thing just said, "Please be sure to follow community guidelines." That's like, what's the word? That's like code for we are slowly cracking down on all free speech. So just be aware that you don't have any rights to say what you want to say. Yeah, Marty, I am. It's super late. I'm gonna explain why as soon as more people are here. But oh, Melbourne, nice. Um, First of all, is it really choppy for you? The replay for me is looking out. It's all like it's not like smooth video. Are you guys seeing the same thing? I don't know if it's this particular device or hi Linda, hi Jane, Mango, One Blessed Marty, Denise, North Carolina. It seems okay to you guys? Okay, it must just be this device that's making it look weird on my end. All right, if it looks fine to you, um the reason I started super late is because I was trying to find, in the last month since I've been live, Etsy completely changed their selling app. And by changing it, they didn't just change it over for everybody nicely, they kicked all of us off the app. And you have to sign back in to get onto the new app. The old app is not functional. You turn it on and it just comes up saying this won't work anymore. Um, and I can't seem to locate my sign in information. It's a very specific email and password that I made just for the site, and it's not like anything else I use. I wanted it to be super secure, but I also thought I made copies of it and put them in safe places everywhere so I would never lose it, and I can't seem to find it. Somebody's coming tomorrow night to help, so hopefully I'll be able to find it by then. But until I find it, I can't sell any stones. So basically, I've just been spending all this time frantically looking, because if I start a show and then I can't sell any stones, then, I mean, I'm literally looking right now still. So all I can do is hang out with you guys, but I promised you I'd be live. So here I am, hanging out with you guys, you know, still hoping I'll find this thing. And if not, instead of selling stones, I'm just going to have to do, I'll make some pieces for you guys, because that'll be fun, right? And then I'll just tear this place apart over the next 24 hours, and I'll just have to find it. Or I'll have to make an entire new site, which I guess I could do. It's not going to hurt, because I don't really need like most people, they build their website based on Etsy giving them, you know, exposure, but all my exposure comes through YouTube, through you guys. So Etsy, I just use Etsy to process payments, and really Etsy takes such a large percentage. I really like to look into other services, but I could post them right now to PayPal, but then each of you would have to send me your PayPal email. And if you put your PayPal email in a comment, I don't think it doesn't let you put emails in comments. It'll just delete them because it's like a security risk, I'm pretty sure. So you would have to be my Facebook friend and message me your personal email that works on PayPal, if you even have PayPal. Um, but yeah, in any case, now you guys can still go to the Etsy and buy stuff. I can still give you the name of my Etsy and you can buy stuff tonight. So I'm going to tell you right now, if any of you want to help us, because we lost a lot of money taking all of May off, but I did that. I wish it was a vacation, like Marty said. I did that to try out this huge project, which turned out to be really, really, really difficult, but at least I gave it a shot. But now we're really low on funds. So if anybody wants to go to the Etsy site, there's kits up there. There's kits and sets you can buy. And what the heck? Okay. I priced them really, I try to price them lower than normal. I lowered the price and I try to make them affordable. So if you want to go there, I'll give you the, let me put the link on here. Yeah, it was great meeting you, Mango. Let me see. I'm typing this out by hand because I don't know why, because I think I have it somewhere, but let's see if that works. All right, so let's try that. Yep, so my site is still up and the buyers can still go and buy. So I'm putting that at the banner at the top of the comments. And all of you can go there right now. You can buy kits, get what's left of the kits. Marley came out of retirement and spent a couple days here and helped me make all these beautiful kits. And they're also small sets. They're small sets just like the ones we sell in the live show. So snap up the rest of them and you can have them. And it'll also help us because we, like I said, are really low on funds. I really was going to start these live shows like 5 days ago and just a bunch of stuff came up. I spent almost the entire weekend babysitting my nieces and nephew. It was my sister's birthday and she went away. And so my dad and I helped with that. So that was a lot of fun because they're really cute and fun, but it took a lot of time and it was exhausting. And then I had a cousin come and visit and that was really fun. We spent a lot of time together. So really, I was planning to start June 1st. I was planning to start doing live shows again, but now it's like June 8th and I can't even get this Etsy thing going. Oh, good, Fiorella. That's wonderful. They should be coming to you if you haven't gotten them yet. So I'm pretty sure we got them all in the mail. Oh, I'm sorry, Mango. That's always really sad. But yeah, anybody want to go there now and grab some kits? We're going to be signed back in by tomorrow. Yeah, I can't start a whole new Etsy because I have all those kits up there and I have all those messages to respond to. And so anybody, if you've been messaging me and you're like, why isn't he responding? I haven't been able to get into Etsy. And so I need to find that sign-in information before I can do that. But actually, I'm literally looking up here right now to see if for some reason, it might be stuck on this board. It shouldn't be out in the open like that, but who knows at this point. It's really wild. So, okay, cool. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to make some pieces because basically that's all I can do during the live show right now. So first of all, if anybody wants these are the last two tutorials I did this past week. Whoa, what are you doing? Oh, this stupid thing. All right, this needs to come out of here. Hold on. All right. Let's see. All right. What is happening here? All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, so these are the last two tutorials I did. Now, if you want to get these, I'll sell these. I won't be able to put them posted for you until I get back into the Etsy, but I'll just mark your name on them and put them in a box, and they'll be ready for you to purchase maybe in a day. So first we'll start with these, the blue lace agate. If anybody wants these, go ahead and I guess I'll sell a few things. You won't be able to buy them tonight, and I'll just have to trust you that you won't forget to go and buy them later because I'll put your name on them. So these blue lace agate with two tiny lapis lazuli and some kind of little rondelle agate in silver. If anybody wants these at a craft show, I would probably do these for 25, but for you guys, start me at 15 if anybody wants to get them for 15. I know you guys can make your own, so it's up to you, but if you'd like them, they were in the tutorial, in the video. So if anybody wants for 15, just call it out. Just say 15. And they are about 2.5 inches long, maybe 2.25. Nice size. They go great, casual or fancy. And then next, these guys, the little amethysts. There's 2 amethysts on each. And these are also, let's see, these are about 2.5. The others were about 2.25. These are a tiny bit longer. So 15 for these 2 if anybody wants. Paw charms. I actually did have paw charms for a while. I probably have them around here somewhere. But if nobody's interested in these 2 guys, then I'll just put them on the Etsy later. And let's make something. Let's see, what do we have? You know what? I put all my tools in my car. My tools are in my car because I was going to take them somewhere and do a video somewhere. So I don't think I even have tools here to make something. Let's see. Yep, no, I don't have the right tools here. So that's about it for now. How are you guys doing? Hi, Diana. Hi, Carly Stone. Hi, Stephanie Lee. So yeah, I could run to my car and get the tools if you guys want to wait. Otherwise, I guess I would have to end it right now because there's not really much else to talk about. You guys want to wait? You want me to run to the car and get tools? Tell you what, we'll do a mini show. We'll do a mini selling thing here. I have such beautiful stones I've gotten from not being here. Hi, Mexico. Hi, Marcella. Hi, Diana. So I'll show you guys a few stones, and then I won't post them tonight. You can purchase them like in a day or two, but we'll just set them aside for you. If anybody wants to get these, where's my? Some of these are just so gorgeous, and I accumulated a lot while in the meantime. So here's, if you want to start at just 10, oh, this is the bad camera. Let me flip back. Here we go. All right, if you want to start at just 10, here are some gorgeous dragon vein agate. And I'm just going to do a few of these, and then I'll start wrapping. We'll call this number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. All right, Diana Lewis says 10. Diana Lewis, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell me which one you want. 5 Dale says 10. Diana Lewis wants number 2. Five Dale, which one would you like? Five Dale wants number 3. All right, Five Dale and Diana Lewis, call out any others you want. Damon, they're $10 each. All right, Diana Lewis wants number 4. So that's 20 altogether. And Five Dale, are you good, or do you want any others? This is 1 and 5. Five Dale wants number 5. Okay, so that's 20 and 20. Yay. That was fun. Anybody else want to do? Five Dale wants number 1 also. All right, so that's 30. Mimi CT says, go get the tools. Does anybody want to see any more stones before I go get the tools and wrap something? And if anybody else wants to buy some more, say, stones, or say more stones, or say, yeah, just say stones or say more stones if you want to see any more before I go. All right, I'll show you just one more. These are going for 15. Crazy, crazy, crazy gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. These are higher end Cherry Creek Jasper. 1. Christina looked these up and said they're also called fossilized tree fern. 2 and 3. Each of these are 15. Just say 15 and they're yours. You don't even need to go higher. But I'm going to throw in a whole bunch of super cute earth tone beads to go with it. So just 15, and you get all these cute earth tone beads. Five Dale says has the first 15. And nobody else. That's it for tonight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Five Dale, which set would you like? 1, 2, or 3? Two and 3. All right, Five Dale, the big spender tonight. Awesome. Well, this little tiny bit is going to keep us from bankruptcy. So thank you so much, Five Dale. You are adorable, and we missed all of you. Super, super missed you guys. I didn't want to stay away this long, but I made a commitment to myself that I would spend all of May trying to do this other project, and I stuck to it as much as I hated it, and it turned out it wasn't what I thought it would be, but I learned a lot, so that was good. Okay, so we got Five Dale at 30, another Five Dale at 30, Diana Lewis at 20. I can't post these guys. I'm sorry. Diana Lewis and Five Dale, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow night to see them online, but I trust you guys. You trust me. We're awesome. And I'm going to let you look at the studio here while I go and get some... you know what? I'll just bring you with me. You guys can come with me while I go and see if I can find my tools. So you get to see the parking lot. So exciting. Parking lot time. Whew. Susanna. Any of you in the northeast United States or Canada? Anybody been getting the smoke? That was wild. I woke up and I thought I was in an alternate reality. I was like, why does it look like there's some kind of fire nearby? And then somebody who lived in a city 2 hours away texted me and said, hope you're doing okay with the smoke. And I 2 hours away. That really freaked me out. Then I had to run to the Google and make sure I wasn't actually in an alternate reality where the earth is covered in smoke. Let's see what we have here. Oh, there they are. There's my... Oh! Okay, that was my tools. They all decided to jump out. Oh, luckily, they're pretty rugged. I think I got everything. All right, let's see. Yep. Okay. It did smell like smoke yesterday. It doesn't smell today. It's about 70% gone. The sky still looks gray. The entire sky looks like... It's a weird gray. It's still here a little bit. Yeah, the sun was pink. I couldn't tell if it was the sun or the moon. I'm pretty sure it was the moon at one point. I thought it looked like the sun, but it was like 6 in the morning and it was really high in the sky. And I'm like, there's no way the sun is that high at 6 in the morning. So I'm pretty sure it was the moon. The moon was glowing red. But maybe it was the sun. I don't know. Whew. Yeah, it looks like it's overcast, like it's extremely overcast, but then it looks a little bit more hazy than that. It looks like it's overcast mixed with a tiny bit of fog. I guess that's the best way to describe it. The first day, it literally looked like you were just looking through a campfire. Oh, all right, so... Looked yellow where you are, Carly Stone? All right, so here we go. These two come in a set. You can get these. They've come down in price. Everything else went up in price in the last few years. You can get these two end cutters for $8 on Amazon. I'll put the link underneath here after this video ends. So if you're rewatching the replay, it should be in the description, or I'll even try to add it to a comment. Maybe I don't know if I can do that. Probably. These someone gifted to me. These are like $60 cutters. I've had them for 5 years now. They're just awesome. But you don't need them that fancy. But if someone gives you a gift, you know. Now I just got to find my silver. Where the heck did I put it? All right, never mind silver. I like these copper colors better for wrapping anyway. They have like smoother bends. So this beautiful, some kind of ocean jasper, I'm not sure, or some kind of agate. It's a beautiful agate. I got to find the name for it, but basically it'll look amazing with antique copper or vintage bronze. Which one? Let's see. I'm leaning towards antique copper because it's my favorite. What do you think? Any opinions? I'm going to do the antique copper. Mango says bronze. Oh, by the way, before I forget, my nephew wanted you guys to see he made all these characters just for the live show, from big to little. So he wanted you guys to see these. So here they are. And then the smallest one is almost microscopic. So you saw them here first. Is that a bird? The dog, a cowboy, a cat, a snake, and Fat Man to start it off. Yep. All right. I'm saying antique copper. Mango says vintage bronze. Anybody else have an opinion on this? What do you like? The more red or the more yellow? I feel like it's a toss-up. It could go either way. Damon, you want the last teardrop stone? I think it was this one. Robin says go with more of the red. That's the antique copper. Did you want that for 10? All right, Damon, I'm going to put your name on it. You see the Etsy link at the top? It'll be there tomorrow. Are you new to this show? Because basically, we usually post it right away so you can buy it right away so nobody forgets, and we get it right out to you in the mail. Oh, you're not new. Okay, well then we will remind you tomorrow to get it once we hopefully have it posted. For now, I'm writing down your name at $10. free shipping, although your state will probably add $1 of tax or something, or 50 cents. And that, there it goes, that's for you. And that'll be waiting for you tomorrow. All right, back to this cutie. And, oh shoot, these are all 18 gauge. This is not what I want. I want 20 gauge. Never mind. Oh, everything is unprepared. All right, here's my 20 gauge. You know what? I'm going to go with the vintage bronze. I think mango. I think I'm leaning more that way now. Kind of was going back and forth in my brain. So I'm taking about, just to be on the safe side, I'm taking almost 3 feet, almost a whole meter. All right, Damon, that's okay. Just come to the show tomorrow night, and we'll probably have it posted. We'll walk you through buying it. So I'm putting this stone in the middle of the wire. Super easy. Crimping. Crimping. Oh. Carly Stone, you can't leave now. This is the exciting part. So fold that over and make a nice loop. Twist it, lock it in, and we're going to come down around here. Let's make ourselves a nice cute little spiral right here. Cute little spiral for you and me. And just let these curves just make their way up. Just wrap this one, have this one go around back. And what do we do now? Now we have to figure out how to fill up the rest of the spot, or just leave it. What do we do? These two can come around like this. What do we do? Make another spiral? Maybe a smaller one up right here. That would be kind of cute, right? Just a little bit. Maybe one more. Be careful it doesn't get as big as the other one, or it's just going to look too busy. And we'll pull that way up there, so it's way up out of the way of the other one. And then we're going to push these together and make them go back and forth like ice skaters. And then we'll lock it right there. Da, da, do the scarf. Da, 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 da. Cut it. Da, 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 da. All right, this is still kind of wonky. We're going to tighten that in the back with some nice crimpity crimps. Oh, slipped there. It's a good thing it was in the back. There we go. That locked that down a lot tighter. It's still exactly where I want it to be. I'm going to go even more heavily with the crimps. And there we go. And thank you. All right. I actually wanted to do, I like doing threes, 1, 2, 3. I wanted to do another swirl right there. I just wasn't thinking at the last minute. I could have put one more little swirl, bigger, medium, smaller. But this will just have to do. It's got some nice little patterns and swirls and things going on. Maybe this, I don't like straight lines like this. If I'm going to do swerve, curl, if I'm going to do curves, I like them all to be curves. So this straight line going straight out is like bothering me. It's too, what's the word? It's too straight edged. Let's give it a little bit of a curve, very, very gently. I'm just pushing up little parts here and there, not all in the same place. I don't want it to just make a sharp corner. I want it to be a nice curve, and it's hard to make a curve once something is already set. There we go. See, now it's a nicer curve. It's like, what? Now this one too is too straight. I want that one to curve out also. I want it to curve the opposite way. So I'm going to bend that. I'm like slow, my hand's in the way. I'm slowly moving one little part at a time, just doing little bends, little tiny bends to get the curve in there. And if you're real careful, it won't look like a whole series of little bends. It'll look like just one solid curve. There we go. See, I like that. A lot better. Now everything is curving. Everything is curving in every direction like a beautiful lady. There's no harsh, hard, straight lines. And the back is, everything's pretty solid, and that's not going to get crimped out of place. I mean crimped, it's not going to get snagged by like a button or a seam in a piece of clothing. I'm happy with this cutie. Now I would do, it's a big chunky pendant, so I wouldn't just do a chain. You could just do a chain to be easy, or a black cord would be easy, or an olive green cord like this. I just happen to have this here. That would be cute. But what I would actually do is I would put some side pieces that were chunkier to try to like make the chunkiness spread all the way up the collarbone. So it's not all just like super skinny and then a big lump. And I know people like that. They like a big giant pendant on a thin little cord or a chain. I always feel like you need more substance. So I'm looking for some beads to go with it right now. These are kind of cool. These are like gold splashed glass beads. Let's see how they would go. Ooh, that's kind of rich. They look kind of like, makes it look kind of, what's the word? Renaissance fair-ish, right? That's kind of what I'm going for. Now I want some tiny little beads to go on either end of those. Something that still kind of matches the colors in the main stone. Let's see what I have here. These little fish egg looking. Oh, those are too big. I want something, because I'm going to use up a lot of bulk with the wire. I want something, I want like 4mm, really tiny. And they need to be shiny. I have them in matte finish, not shiny finish. Let me look a little further around here. All right. I'm not going to take forever to look for them, so I'm going to take out these little Sodalite, but I think I'm going to pick out like the lightest ones that are almost white, because that matches, I feel like. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. It really matches the main stone. And actually, these are the ones I usually don't use. I usually like the ones that have a lot more blue, so it would be good to use these up. So that's cool. All right, we got something going here now. So I'm going to take this, where'd my wire go? Vintage bronze again. And I don't even know what I'm doing. I just have an idea in my head. Let's see if we can make something work, right? So we'll take one of these. And just start putting this through. Go to the middle. That's always a good place to start. Give it 2 crimps. It's always the safe thing to do. And obviously the next thing you want to do is give it 2 loops. This time I'm not going to, these are little loops, so I'm going to use my round nose. Get some nice loops. I don't want them too little because I want to be able to scarf them a little bit. I might need to use them to wrap some stuff around. So they're about, I have my loops a little bigger than the 4mm stone below it. Okay, now we can have some fun. What shall we do? We'll just go easy. We'll just make a nice, that's not anything too wild, but it's going to add some nice bulk to the side of the stone. So yeah, I like that. Keep it simple. Simple and cute. How many times are we going to scarf it? The scarf looks really decorative here, so as far up as you want to go is, you know, is fine on each side. Just make sure you have enough to get a tab and you have enough to get your jump ring in later. Enough space. Everyone hates tucking in this sharp end. I've done it so many times, it's like butter. It's like the most easy thing in the world. It's actually kind of satisfying. But beginners always hand me their piece, be like, can you tuck it for me? When I have an apprentice or I'm trying to teach someone new. So see how that is cute? And even if it flips over on you, it basically looks the same on each side. So there we go. That is going to be, now if you can arrange it so it doesn't flip, you want to put multiple jump rings because that'll keep it from flipping. And in that case, you want to kind of press it like this so it lays more flat against the chest. So there's one. And make the next one. Now we know what we're doing. We can go fast. Super easy. Hello, Janet. If I didn't say hello to anybody, just call out your name and yell at me. I got one of the cutest, one of the most adorable, what's it called? Messages on Instagram today. Guys, I have a friend I've been trying to push to do what's it called? I've been trying to push him to do a YouTube channel, totally different topic, but he's such a great speaker and he writes so well, and I'm trying to help his self-esteem. I've been trying to push him to start a channel. He's like, I can't handle negative comments, even from friends. And I'm like, well, you're gonna have to get over that because um where'd it go? Oh no, I don't see it now. Uh, anyway, I got a beautiful comment from this girl today. Said something like, I can't stand looking at your disgusting face and I'll never watch any of your horrible videos, or and a bunch of other cute things like that. And I screenshot it because it was so funny. Because that is just part of the course. It's actually a compliment. You're not going to get nasty comments like that until you hit a certain level of followers. So it's actually it's like what's it called when you hit a milestone? I don't know. There's a word I was looking for, but all right, these are going the same direction somehow. To figure out which one is not going the way I want it. Oh well, we won't worry about it. We'll just flip that around. You want them going opposite directions, and you want to try to get it the same as the first one. I just eyeball it, and it pretty much comes out the same. If it looks horribly different, then I just do it again. I'll cut the wire off, or I'll just get more beads and do it again. And if you end up doing it 4 times, well, now you have some new earrings to go with it. I mean, look at this. These could just be earrings to go with this pendant. Or they could be side pieces and earrings. So you have all the options, all the fun options in the world. You want this loop to be a little fatter, a little sticking out a little more than what you really want, because when you start wrapping it, it pulls it in tighter. So see how this one, I'm going to have this one sticking out more than this one because it's going to pull itself back in. I'm going to hold it right about there and start wrapping. And even as I wrap the first couple wraps, it's pulling it tighter and tighter till they're about even. Definitely, you could make a bunch and have a bracelet. That's a great idea. And I kind of like this piece better than the last 2 tutorials I did. And this is just impromptu. So again, if you don't mind it flipping, just leave it the way it is. But if you want it to lay a certain way, you're going to have to put 3 jump rings to make sure it doesn't flip. You know, 3 or as many jump rings as you can squeeze in there. And then if that's the case, then just kind of press it like that so it's going to lay flat on the collarbone. And voila. Now, I like to taper out to one more smaller set of pieces. So how shall I do that? Let me find some beads that will also match. Might be a little different. And right away I see these little light champagne agate colored kind of discs, kind of like flattened hockey puck shapes. Um, so they're going to be laying on their side like this. Is that what we want? Or do we want these little fish egg babies to come up next? Either way would be fine. I think I'm going to go with Marcella. They're both round. Do you mean the totally round ones rather than the flat ones? I guess that's what you mean. Yeah, that kind of draws your eyes up the side of the neck. So the prettiness isn't all centered down here and then slowly fades out. It's like prettiness, ooh, elegant, and ooh, it's even popping up on the edges there, right? Because there's some little bits of blue and black, and there's more color in these round ones. I really wanted to be more subtle. Sometimes I don't want to go too pretty, and these are more subtle. So I was really leaning towards these, but I'm going to do the round ones for Marcella. Thanks, Diana Lewis. So these are easy, or I should say they're easy. I don't know. I might make them a little fancy too. Let's see. What are we going to do? Take some of my best pieces are I just figure it out as I go. I don't make a plan ahead of time. And I think you guys should do the same sometimes. Just go real slow and careful and be honest with yourself and say, how do I really want this to look? And then try to execute as close to what you're thinking. So what am I doing here? Probably the same kind of thing, only it's going to look a lot different with just one bead. So let's see, we're going to do this, and ooh, I don't even have enough wire to do the same thing. So that's what I get. Try to save on wire, and I cut the bare minimum. It's always better if you're doing something for the first time to cut extra. All right, so now we have way too much, but this piece was just sitting here, so I'm going to use it up. I think this was cut off of the main wrap. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to be kind of like I am, kind of like I'm just wrapping around the bead, but I'm not going to touch the bead. It's going to hover. The wire is going to hover. So I'm pulling it from way back here to get a nice curve. And I'll hold that in place and wrap it. See that? It's just hovering. It almost looks like it's touching the bead. It is kind of touching the bead. Again, like you want to give it a little extra because it's going to pull it tighter as you do the scarf. And this one, want to follow the same pattern. So this is coming around the bead this way. So we want to just keep coming in the same direction like that. And again, you want to let it hover a lot more than you think, because it's going to pull it tighter as you do the scarf. That scarf is coming up kind of diagonal, which is kind of cool. I kind of like it. All right. There we have it. I wanted these loops to hover out even further, but they're still within the margin of error that I think it'll look really nice coming out as a necklace like that. So now we'll just duplicate it. You can do this with your round nose or with your fingers, however you feel most comfortable. So I alternate, it just whatever feels right at the moment. I do a lot more with my fingers than I used to do with pliers. Your fingers get stronger and they get more agile, and you start to learn how to work with the wire. We don't need the pliers all the time. So I could hold the pliers like that and do it, but I'm just going to do it with my fingers. Just hold that out and twist. And again. Da, 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 da. And this one, 2. See, I'm tempted to do it like that, and that is going to pull it too tight. So I want to give it more, push it out, give it more of a curve, because again, once you start scarfing it, the scarf is going to pull it tighter and tighter. And that scarf aided all the way up to the last bit of wire. Only going to have to cut off the tiniest amount. So good news, guys. One of my friends went to a craft sale. I know you guys have been going to craft sales, and more than me, or selling at craft sales, but somebody went to a craft sale and said the crowds are back and bigger than ever. It's like post-COVID. So for all of you who were kind of, let down by how not being able to sell anything for a whole year, year and a half, 2 years, and then the crowd's coming back real slow. Well, they're all back in full force, and they are hungry to buy. Even the recession that started a year ago is not deterring them. The prices people are charging as much as ever, and people are buying at those prices. So that was one particular show, but I think that's good news. So I'm going to put these together with some jump rings. Let me go find some vintage bronze jump rings. Oh, I have a tiny bit of coffee left. Yay. I got myself down to one ginormous coffee a day. So it's one 20-ounce, basically, coffee a day, which is the equivalent of like 2.5 regular little mugs. But maybe 2.25. But that's half what I've been drinking for years. So I try to cut completely, and that's what I do. I'll try to make a huge change, and I'll fall halfway towards that change. And that halfway part is a huge amount of progress that you're not going to make if you don't give it a good attempt. So I don't feel bad at all when I fall halfway. That's halfway towards where I want to be. Sometimes I find that halfway mark is good enough, and I'm happy to stay there. It's enough progress that it improves life, and that's really the goal. I got to get all these jump rings organized. Organization. Man. All the OCD people in the world who love to organize, they should all be paired up with a crafter. And the crafter should literally give them a portion of the money they make. Because being organized saves you hours of your life and hours of frustration. By Marcella. You think it could be for a man too? These were never opened. I don't know where they came from. I have all these cute, but these are like the perfect size. And both size and thickness with jump rings are important. You guys know. You get those hair-thin jump rings, and they're so flimsy unless you quadruple them up. You don't even want to use them. Sometimes you still don't want to use them. They're so flimsy. And once in a while, you get them, they're too thick. These are perfect. These are absolutely perfect. Perfect width, perfect thickness, perfect size. I think they're 6 millimeter. Let me look at, what did the bag say? Bag doesn't say. 6 millimeter, yep. Look at me. Got this down to a science. I go like this to close them. One pair of pliers and my fingers. Most people need 2 pairs of pliers. Whatever works for you. So like I said, I'm going to put 3. I'm going to triple the jump rings because that will keep this piece from flipping back and forth. It'll help it to lay the way I want it to lay on the person's chest. 3 going this way and then 3 going this way. These I don't care so much for. These little ones, they can flip around anyway. Marty, I don't know. I would say it's the outside diameter, Marty. I would be almost positive it's the outside diameter. Because I'm looking at these, and they look about the same width as a 6 millimeter stone on the outside, not on the inside. The inside is way smaller. Generally, doing jewelry, you want jump rings that go anywhere from 4 millimeter to 10 millimeter. And that's the same as beads, ironically. It wouldn't have to be the same, but it turns out to be the same. The sizes of jump rings you're going to want vary between 4, 6, 8, and 10 millimeters. 10 for much chunkier stuff. 4 for teensy weensy itty bitty earrings and connections. 4 millimeter links are basically the size of chain, the size of jewelry chain. Thin chain, fairly thin chain. You don't want to go smaller than 4. You're going to drive yourself crazy trying to open them with your fingers. So from here to here, I'm just going to do 2 jump rings. That'll be plenty. And then I'll just get, not a chunky chain, but a slightly chunkier than normal chain to finish the rest of it. Put a nice lobster clasp. Always close your jump rings completely. Make sure they're tight. Over close them. When you have to go back, push it all the way back past the point of closure. If it's a type of jump ring that's going to spring back a little bit. Some jump rings are more springy than others. You'll find out what I'm talking about. But make sure when you look, when you squint, if you need your reading glasses or whatever, make sure when you squint, make sure that little connection is closed so well that it almost disappears. Because that is how jewelry falls apart. That little connection gets weakened, every time the jewelry's pulled on, and then all of a sudden a loop falls through. That's another good reason to double and triple your jump rings. You'll almost never have them fall apart if you have double and triple. But if you only have one jump ring, make sure that thing is tight, because you have a little loop fall through the jump ring and boom, the whole piece falls off the woman or the man's neck or ears or whatever and gets lost in the crowd sometimes, and that's the end of it. Now here's a trick. You see how these are getting, first of all, if you want this to lay on the woman or the neck like this, if you want them to be more spread out so you can see better the chains, you want to make it higher up on the neck. If it hangs lower on the neck, they're going to be more like this. And you might like it either way. I like it more like that. I think it's more elegant when it's spread out. Now I'm looking at these and I'm saying, I don't see the beauty in what I did. It's too jammed up close to each other. I just see a buttload of vintage bronze. There's so much vintage bronze, I'm almost not noticing the stones. So what shall we do in this case? What I am going to do is I'm going to spread these out further. So I'm going to undo everything I just did. Oh, horror. Absolute horror. It's worth it, trust me. And when you get in the hang of this, especially if you're someone who makes chainmail, you can open and close these little babies super fast. Like, bump, 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 ba-dump, ba-dump, bump, bump. And in this case, I'm not going to worry about whether these flip, because now they're going to be so spread out that I'm not going to be able to control it. So I'm just going to let them lay however they lay. And they basically look the same on both sides anyway. So undoing the whole thing. This is one of the strangest arts. It's like the only art that some people can pick it up in one day. Other people, it takes them like a year. But then, you know, you could just stay at the level that I'm at today and you can make a living off of this. You can save money, buy a house. If you go to enough shows and you go to the highest end shows and you set up your booth and you learn how to aggressively sell, or you just learn how to meet what your customers want, you can make a living off of this. Or you can just have it as a hobby and you can go sit down in Starbucks at a table with some stuff and just relax and do this all afternoon and let it soothe your brain as you sip your hot tea or your coffee. And unlike any other art, there's no water, there's no heat, there's no paint, there's nothing that dries out, there's nothing you have to prepare at a certain temperature, there are no chemicals. Now, granted, as you get into it, if you're going to patina stuff, yeah, you can have chemicals and stuff like that. But the basics here can be done 1 square foot of table space. It's literally all you need. I've been using right here, this is like 7 inches by 7 inches. It's not even a whole square foot. 1 square foot of table space gives you plenty of room to work in, and you can leave this out for 7 weeks and come back to it. It's not going to have dried out. It's not going to have gotten dusty or ruined. It's the easiest art, and it's the easiest art to sell. Trust me, I've tried to sell every kind of art. Thank you, Aisha. Is that Aisha? One of my mentors was named your same name, except she pronounced it in 2 syllables instead of 3. She pronounced it Aisha. But most people, I think, pronounce it Aisha, 3 syllables. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to spread these babies out with way more jump rings so you can see. And I'm also going to, I kind of flatten that. I'm going to put it back so it looks good on either. See, I kind of flatten that against the table. I'm going to make it uniform again so it can flip either way. That way it's not going to lay flat. It's going to kind of roll, but that's okay. It kind of dances on the person's neck, which is nice. So what shall I do? I could do 3 jump rings like that instead of 1. 3 is nice. You have to be careful. A certain number of jump rings will turn your piece sideways. So if 1 jump ring makes it flat, 2 jump rings would make it sit kind of like that. And that's not as what you want. So 3 is good, but I'd like to put a big jump ring in the middle for like a little more fanciness, like 2 small jump rings and then 1 big jump ring. So I'm going to lay these out, but I'm going to walk around and look for a larger jump ring. And look at these split rings. Bought these by accident. You can use split rings. You need to really make it go fast. You need a special pliers that opens the split rings. Otherwise, they're a pain in the butt. They're basically like little tiny key rings. I've never really used them, but I know people who have. But just make sure you don't buy these by accident when you're trying to buy jump rings, because then you'll get home and be like, oh my gosh. All right, let me see. Do I have larger jump rings somewhere? Okay, I could keep looking and probably find them, but look at this. This is a vintage bronze chain, double chain. But these big fat links are perfect for my middle spot. I think I'm going to use one of these links. If you're in a pinch but you have chunky chain, you can take the links of your chunky chain and use them as jump rings. Almost all chain is not soldered together or welded together. It almost always opens just like a jump ring if you can find the opening. And suddenly, just by having a length of chain, you have a bazillion jump rings to play with. Now I'm going to have to make sure I close that really tight because, like I said, I'm only going to have 1 jump ring in between. And if that thing opens, the whole necklace falls apart. But let's see how that's going to look. Now I could double these up, and I might double them up. But first I'm going to do them single and just see how it looks. Trial and error. Trial and error till you find what looks best for you. And immediately, look how much more elegant and fancy that looks. Now these are too big. I tried it, they're too big. I'm gonna go for something smaller, like an 8mm. This is kind of like almost a 12mm stretched out. So that's taking too much attention away from the other nice stones, I think. But you might like it. It depends on the person. I'm going to do it on both sides just to be sure, because maybe I will like it. Who knows? Let's see. Yep, we got twisted here. What do you guys think? A little bit too big, right? So I am going to search my studio and try to find the 8mm ones. I have some bigger ones here, but these look like the flimsy ones, and I don't trust them. Maybe if I doubled them up, they'd be okay. Yeah, I think they'll be okay if I double them up. That'll be okay. So maybe that'll be the answer right there. Let's try that. So these are 8mm, just a tiny bit size bigger, and they're thinner. But if I double them, I'll get enough strength to make it safe. I also am going to make sure they're super perfectly closed though. Because even though you probably won't get them to open at the slit, too much pressure on one of them from the weight, somebody yanks on the necklace by accident, gets caught on something, and those things are going to warp right open. And then you have trouble in River City. All right, let's look at that. Yep, let's do the same thing with these. Take these big monsters out. The cool thing about not worrying if these things flip is you don't need to constantly agonize over whether you're putting the jump ring on in the exact right position. You just stick it on and it should be good. Although when you're doubling these up, you do need to make sure they're laying the same way, or instead of having two right up against each other, you're going to end up with this weird situation I've done before where they end up looking like that instead of like that. Like they literally like turn into this weird looking 3D cross thing. There we go. And I'm looking that I don't like that right there. That's not closed all the way the right way. There we go. Better. I'm liking it. Again, make sure it's not twisted. It's really easy to get twisted up in here and you have it on the wrong sides. And you're like, why isn't it laying flat? Just keep messing with it till it lays flat. And what do you guys think? I like it. I like it a lot better. In fact, I'm going to go back on what I said again. I think I could just use small jump rings in between so that these sections with the nice, fancy pieces I made pop even more. They're still kind of getting buried in all of the... So I'm going to undo it one more time, and I'm just going to go with three small jump rings. 3 6mm, even 4mm would really help the accent pieces pop. But I'm going to go with 6. I'm not going to be too perfectionist this time. So now, is it worth going back and redoing it this many times? Of course, because once you get it looking really pretty, then you can make 10 more of these necklaces really fast, and you know the formula. And you can sell each one for $50. It's 50 bucks times 10. I know none of you can do that kind of advanced math, but trust me, it's a lot of money. Plus, it just feels good to know everybody's walking around wearing your creations. Or they could be all of your holiday gifts. It's the best kind of holiday shopping. You don't have to, you know, you're giving someone something they can't get anywhere else because you're the one who made it. And you're giving something from the heart. They're going to brag that it was handmade. It's going to feel way more special to them. They're not going to be able to return it to a store, so it won't make you feel bad. Yeah, I'm liking that better. In fact, if I had 4mm, I would do 4mm in between. But I'm liking this. And I think I am just going to put the chain, about 4 inches of chain on each side, maybe 6 inches of chain on each side, a lobster clasp. Have some nice big links at the end so the lobster clasp can clasp on different links so they can make it the length they want it. I always like to make them adjustable. You never know how a necklace will hang perfectly on a different person who you haven't met yet. Thank you, Diana Lewis. I should go back and make this the thumbnail once this video processes. And again, if you make it really long, like coming halfway down their chest, these pieces are going to hang like this, which is fine. If you make it up higher, it doesn't have to be a choker, but up higher on their collarbone, then the pieces will spread out more, and I think that looks nicer. Plus, it'll show better. It'll show against their skin. I think these colors look really nice on most people's skin. So, yeah. Now, if you want to be really crazy and you have a ton, you can make your own chain and just put a bazillion of these little 6mm jump rings together, because I think they're about the right size. And then get yourself a vintage bronze colored lobster clasp. But I'm going to cheat, and I always just go to the store and buy a spool of chain. It's so much faster and less stressful. And then you can really play around with the sizes without having to sit there forever opening and closing jump rings. Yep. Well, Sharon, just imagine that I'm there. I'll be the imaginary friend. 18 inches should be good. Yep. 18 inches with the option to clasp it down to 14 inches. 14 inches is kind of a choker for a lot of people. 16 inches is a good size for a more petite woman or like a teen girl. 18 inches is pretty much standard because it fits almost everybody. It hangs a little bit low on a petite person, but it doesn't choke even some of the thickest women. So 18 inches is always like the standard. Okay, well, you guys, I am going to post Diana Lewis and Five Dale and Damon Slatcher's pieces tomorrow, hopefully. I'm going to keep looking for the login info. I apologize we didn't have a stone show. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the necklace be made. And I'm going to post this necklace. Maybe I'll make some matching earrings. I'll post it on the Etsy too once I get back in. You guys have a wonderful night, and thanks for hanging out with me, and let's look forward to a lot more shows. We're going to do shows maybe not every day, but we're going to aim for many days a week, okay? So, yay. Good night. We missed all of you. Yes, Sharon, I'm aiming for tomorrow, definitely. I just got to log into the Etsy. I have to find the login info. All right, bye, everybody.